The
Business
Oddcast.
And welcome to the Business Oddcast New Year edition. Today we're sort of full of turkey sandwiches and leftover pickings. Probably a lot of ready
Cheese
salt
balls.
crisps by now.
Yeah, so we're at that stage of the year.
Right, before we get started, hello, who are we? I am Stuart Morrison, your host, and my delightful co-host is.
Hannah Logan
Yes, it is. You're looking very
made it to the end of the year.
Yes. So we're not looking back. We're not looking back. We're
No.
looking forward because this
We are.
week's
Topic of the week.
is
Oh my goodness! So this week's topic, sorry, is the new year, New Year's resolutions and goal setting for 2026.
oh, fantastic.
Yeah, or no goal setting, whatever you choose. We're all
Oh.
about the choice here at the Oddcast.
So we're going to be diving into the whole phenomenon of the new year, the New Year's resolution, the new year, new you, the new year, new neurodiverse you. Oh, try saying that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
One time fast. We're going to be looking at all of the nice and special, little spicy little, features, not bugs, that come along with the neurodiverse new year. What does that mean? People might not recognize some of this stuff. Other people might be going, heck to the yes. So let's dive in. Let's jump off the high board and head for the pool of conversation that is
Into that.
neurodiverse you. So Hannah, why do you love
Okay.
/ hate New Year? Go. I'll just sit back.
And I'll climb onto my soapbox and just start ranting. I love and hate it. I love and hate it. I'm an optimist. I was born an optimist. I am that kind of cup half full kind of girl. So often, especially if I've had a not particularly great year, then often I see the new year as a new start, a fresh start, a fresh set of eyes on the months ahead and all of that stuff, which I love. I see it as a kind of draw a line under it and you can improve stuff if it's been a bad year. And I'm not just talking business wise, just life wise, really. But then the bit I don't like is that pressure, if there is that pressure, like what's your resolution? Well, maybe my resolution is just carrying on being as awesome as I already was. Or, what do I need to do? I'm a bit chubby. Do I have to promise everybody I'm going to go on a diet? Because if you do that, in my experience, every biscuit you're eating, people are like, oh, I thought you were on a diet. So it's, when you make a resolution, in my experience, it feels like, and it isn't obviously this brutal, but it feels like everyone's watching. She said she was going to wash her car more, or she said she was going to stop eating biscuits, or it's just, do you know what I mean? It puts us under that level of scrutiny that most of us neurodiverse folk do not want. We don't want to be stared at while we do stuff, do we?
But is it?
I don't want to make a promise and be criticised for it.
No, I know, but isn't there an element to it of accountability, of saying to somebody, please, I'm making this, because you don't have to make a resolution public. You can, I find, so this is my experience of resolutions. The moment it comes out of my mouth, unreliable witness. I'm going to do this. Maybe.
Are you?
Fingers crossed. Possibly. Fair wind and a following tide, you may get somewhere. You might get off the couch. I'm going to run 10 marathons. You might put on a pair of trainers, But if I've said it in my head and the switch has gone, that's it. I don't need to say, that public accountability piece doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
My PDA kicks in hard.
Yeah.
I've said it and I'll do it in my own time. Thank you very much. Didn't do it this year. Who said I needed to? I just said that I was resolved to do it. I've got a long list of things that I've resolved to do. Don't audit me.
Yeah.
You're not the auditor of me.
You're not the boss of me.
You can't make me do it.
So I like that because you're you're different to me in that way. So for me, it kind of either it makes me feel the pressure to set some kind of goal, like that's the expectation, or I end up setting a million goals because let's be honest, a lot of us are perfectionists. Usually I set myself a million goal, not a million, a load of goals, right? Okay, this year I'm going to drink more water, I'm going to eat less biscuits, I'm going to set aside a day every week that I don't do any work just to, have some me time and all these fabulous goals. But quite quickly, I just fall into a shame spiral as it becomes really apparent that they are not happening or they won't happen because I've set myself a bunch of impossible tasks. Um, so you're right, even if you don't tell people, in my own head, I've got a bunch of people with their arms crossed in my brain, like, you didn't do it, you're eating another biscuit. You know what I mean? So it's that, isn't it? It's
It,
not even the
you're setting
people.
up the chorus of disapproval over known behaviour. And the
Yeah.
idea of the internal shame will be so hard that you will avoid doing that behaviour because these unknown, faceless,
Yeah.
grey hooded individuals who you've appointed as judge, jury, and executioner are going to be pointing at. That sounds very much
Yeah.
like religion. That shame, internalized shame based logic.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
have never subscribed to that. If I don't remember, it never happened. Yeah.
I think the message here is be more Stuart, isn't it? Because for me, resolutions equal perfection. You've got to be better. What are you going to do, Hannah, to be better next year? Well, what does that mean? Healthier, richer? Do they all mean better? They don't mean better to me, but do they mean better? I don't know.
No, you need to invert it. You need to invert it. You need to say, what I'm going to resolve to do is not murder anyone in their sleep for chewing, for crimes against chewing. You have
This
been
year, I
found.
will not go to prison.
Yeah,
Tick.
yeah, exactly.
Again.
If I get to the end of the year
Yes.
with a clean sheet, no criminal record, no one got
No
killed,
handcuffs.
and no one got arrested, tick, tickety tick. To-do list
Oh,
to done.
that's so much better. That is so much better. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is where being an optimist or a pessimist is pointless. It's pointless
Yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
always internally judging yourself against a metric, against
Yeah.
something. It's like, was that better or worse? Do I feel good or bad about that? I kind of don't have that regulatory gauge in me. I'm broken in some regard.
Yeah.
When people say to me, so what is it for you then if the glass isn't half empty or half full? I say the glass is always full. It's just the
Yeah.
ratio of gas to liquid that changes. Oh, smart ass. Yeah, but I'm not wrong. I, I, I,
Yes.
I happen to be in the right. And no matter what you say or whatever you do, you cannot change the fact that that is the appropriate summary of the situation. Your feeling about that is immaterial to me. And that's the same with me and resolutions. I might say one day, I'm going to swim the Bering Strait. I don't even know where the Bering Strait is. Unreliable witness. It seemed like a good
Yeah.
idea at the time.
That
90%
works
of my
better.
life. You sat through my one-man show. 90% of my decisions were, was it a good idea at the time? Probably. Was there a supervising, responsible
Did anybody
adult to
die? No.
turn around and go, no, no? I was allowed to have children and everything. Amazing. They've grown up sane and
Oh
functional.
my goodness.
How did I do that?
Well, there you go. There's your New Year's resolution. Another year of your kids being grown up and functional. I remember, I won't go off on a crazy tangent, but I remember the day that my daughter had been born and my husband and I was set free from the hospital and my husband came with the car seat and we both just stood in the car park like looking at this thing, well, sorry, our child
No,
in
it
in a
is. It's
a
so
thing and
honest
we
to
were
go.
just like, how has anybody Why is there not a law that stops people like us from taking a small human and being entrusted to keep them alive forever? It's like, and we
When,
did, right? People listening, watching, she's 21, she's alive,
yeah,
she's not killed anybody. But wow, yeah, sorry, t that is a crazy tangent.
it,
So,
it,
one thing, coming back to New Year's resolutions before we get onto goals and stuff, a key flaw in the idea of a New Year's resolution for a neurodiverse person is consistency, right? Because New Year's resolutions require consistency. What haven't we got, people? I mean, some of us do, some of us not so much. But yeah, my ADHD brain is giving that New Year's resolution 2 weeks maximum of hardcore dedication. And I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, I promised I wasn't going to eat any biscuits, she says, as she's like 10 packets in of digestives.
wiping the
Because I
crumbs off.
forgot. I forgot. Like the Cookie Monster, nom, 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 shouting at people if they try and take them off me. So, consistency. It's like consistency is like a neurotypical hustle culture rubbish. It's not very friendly to the NDs, is it? It's not. It doesn't go with our rhythm.
So,
Yeah, it doesn't work.
are you saying that a resolution is by necessity a neurotypical construct?
Yeah, I reckon it's all part of the hustle culture. Got to be better.
I
Got
can
to be
add
faster. Got to be slicker.
I can add a further a brick in your argument wall.
Nice.
I don't very much like change.
Yeah, yeah,
I like to keep.
yeah,
The consistency in my life is a regulatory consistency. If things
yeah,
change, I can get deregulated very quickly, and people don't see this ever.
yeah,
This isn't ever public facing, but a missed meal, ooh, ooh,
yeah.
and
Good
I
plan.
can't describe the brain fog, confusion, hanger, lack of sensory processing. It goes even more out of whack. I can respond completely, like I've got better at it over the years. But somebody can ask me a very simple question like, "Oh, did you use the last of the butter?" And I'll be Mr. Defensive, like, "Of course I didn't. Why do you think it's me?" And then I'll hear myself,
Butter all
and
around your mouth.
I'm like, hang on a minute, that wasn't the question. The question wasn't, did you, like, did you, Stuart Morrison, steal all of the butter out of the household fridge? That wasn't the question. It's a simple question. Did you use the butter? Ah.
I didn't do it.
And I laugh at myself. And I'm so really sorry. That came out so defensive. So, and I've got better at it. Other people over the years have learned not to bite back. But it is that I don't want change. So why would I agree to do
Yeah.
some fundamental right? So that right. Let's take the health thing. Right, I'm all for better health.
Mm.
I started
Yeah, yeah,
running and all the rest of it, but I had to gradually ease into that. That wasn't like I decided overnight. I didn't even start at the beginning of the year. In fact, at the beginning of the year, I knew I wanted to be healthier, and that was all I said. I'd like to have a more healthy lifestyle,
yeah,
and it was part of that. Of why don't you set the rule of walking around the block before going to the office? So that was your
yeah,
walk to work. That's all you got to do, and that
yeah.
adds 10 minutes to your day, easily achieved. And do you know what? That built up and built up and built up. And gentle listener, I did a marathon, and
That's really good.
I still run.
Mm.
I've done half marathon this year, various things, and I'm back at it. I've had to take the summer off for illness, for injury. But the point to it is, the whole point to this thing is know thyself. Know what works for thyself. Don't set
Mm.
yourself some lofty goal that somebody. It's almost like it's performative when people tell other people, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it requires, and it's usually some, like you say, it's some lofty goal of like, I'm never drinking ever again.
Dry
For some people,
January.
yeah,
Okay.
and some people that might be a lifesaver. It may be the thing
Yeah,
they
yeah.
need to do. So don't take this as your trigger for fuck it. Stuart said.
No, no.
But the point to it is, why not just say, okay, we're going to try dry January, and then
Mm.
we'll eliminate one midweek drink. That's all we've got to do. If we get to the end of the year and we've done that every, I do, whilst I'm not consistent in many respects. I do like a tick
Hmm.
in a box. Oh, I do like a tick in a box.
Oh God, that dopamine. Yes, got it off the list.
So
I do feel happy just thinking about that imaginary box that I've just ticked.
yeah, exactly. Is there like a stim toy where you can just like tick a box, tick 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 tick
Oh,
tick tick tick, like, or scratch
that'd
off
be
tick cards or something
sweet.
less
Oh,
destructive?
we need
There's
to
the
we
thing.
need to like make that our thing.
Ah.
We need to create that. We've now just given that idea to all our audience.
I would make do with a
Mm.
never-ending scroll of tick boxes and bullet points that and check,
Yeah,
and you could just press them at random and just
that would be
scroll and tick
amazing.
tick 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 tick.
That would be
Oh, that'd be
amazing.
good.
So maybe when we're talking about kind of goals, we've got onto goals and stuff a bit. Maybe actually the message here, one of the messages here is that actually if we want to do a kind of New Year's resolution, maybe we look at it more as a kind of New Year, like a realistic goal setting, but not some big scary goal that doesn't work for us. Just maybe a new habit. Like you said, I loved your idea. I'm going to do that myself, actually. Every morning, just especially if you work from home, just go for a walk around the block. Little habit changes that aren't fundamentally massive and scary, I suppose.
So I'm going to impart a little top tip.
Mm,
Whenever I have tried to do something that I think would benefit me, a step in the
mm,
right direction, but is not necessarily, I don't see scary. I just see opportunity.
yeah.
But something, but that I know will test my internal resources, not something I can't achieve, but is like, okay,
Mm,
if you do that, that is well within your wheelhouse to achieve. A little bit like
yeah.
this podcast. Have I got the
Yeah.
resources to commit to it in the time scale that I will need to think about for this? Which, if anybody's listening, we're committing to this for 2 years, and we're going to see, you know, where it takes us and what it's done. And it's already been worthwhile, and I'm never stopping. So,
Yeah.
but the point, the point to it was, my commitment to myself was I would try 21 episodes before I
Mm,
made a decision, yes or no. And I've known way before that it's a yes, it's a I want to keep going, I want to keep
mm,
doing this. But it was such a small. If I'd have gone like I'm going to commit to do this forever, oh, it just wouldn't have ever happened.
yeah.
It's
We're
just
going to be on Richard and Judy by.
yeah, exactly.
No.
So whenever I've done something like that, I think I ask myself two questions: what should I do? Because I've got a finite
Yeah.
amount of energy. I'm always dealing with my energy budget. I learnt that
Yeah.
long, long ago. Deal with the energy, and everything else will be regulated.
Mm,
So what should I do? So I can I add this into what I am doing
mm,
already? So if I'm doing that, what should I do about something else? Do I need to get rid of that? Do I need to minimize that? Blah blah blah.
mm.
Then second column, second list that you put next to the thing that you want to do. What will my brain and energy allow me to do?
Yeah.
And then that's having a really, really interesting conversation with yourself, because it's like, I really want to do this. But given the current things that you've already committed to, those are
Mm,
non-negotiable. You've committed to them. Unless you put some of those down,
yeah.
can you achieve what you want to achieve? And I've found the older I get, the more attention I look at what I put on my plate before doing it, uh, the better outcomes for me there are.
Yeah. That makes so much sense to me because if I'm honest, like this week, I have definitely overloaded myself and we've got to this day and actually I've nailed it. Thank goodness. But there were moments where I've been like, why? Why did I? And yeah, I'm not always good, I guess what I'm trying to say. I'm not always good at knowing that capacity. I'm quite a yes person. I'm working on that. And actually, for the new year, that will be one of the things. Maybe I just I pause a little more before I say yes to something. I don't mean things like bits of work that I love doing and this, I love doing this, but the little bits of things that you commit to that you don't want to do and it's easier to say yes than no. Those things. I can kick them into the side of the road, yeet them into the hedge.
I kind of built a bit of a curmudgeonly reactionary. I've quite often got feedback through various people that, people don't quite know how to take you. And I quite like it. I want to keep you on your back foot.
Yeah,
Will he say yes? Will he say no? Well, you
got to
don't
be
know unless you
predictable.
ask. But I will give you an unqualified yes or
Yeah,
an unqualified no. You know exactly where you stand. But that's
it's
interesting. The
yeah.
what I think you've just highlighted there with your comments is the
Mm,
contextual nature of a lot of the things that we resolve to do, and the
yeah.
contextual changes that need to happen. So it's not so. Let me put this in concrete terms rather than waffling prosaically, or not, as it may be. So I took up running. Now, for
Mm,
me, when I ran was going to make a huge difference to the outcome. If
mm,
I ran regularly when I was hungry, that wasn't going to work. If I ran
mm,
regularly when I didn't have the energy, that wasn't going to work.
yeah.
I resolved though that the best time to because I didn't start running, I started walking. Best time to go for a walk, sunrise. It's
Mm,
gorgeous. I never regretted a sunrise walk or run as it became.
mm,
And I fell out of that habit. But the reason that it worked for me was it was like my stomach hadn't woken up. I wasn't hungry
mm.
yet. I'd have a coffee and then I'd go. And by the time I came home, I was ravenous. Oh yeah, I wanted something to eat by that point. But it never meant that I couldn't do sort of 3 to 5 miles. And that improved my health, which I'm ever so grateful for. But it's that context. If I hadn't known that about myself, I would have probably tried to have gone running in the evening, low energy, before I eat my evening meal, because you don't want to run on a full stomach, and before it's middle of the afternoon when you're going to be working. So, do you know what I mean? It's like, know what your energy budget is, know how it's going to integrate in your day, and you've got better outcomes already.
So I like the idea of actually, yeah, you're setting goals, or you're kind of, maybe you're not setting goals, you're just kind of thinking of what you're going to do in the year ahead, but actually really looking at what works best for you, not kind of these generic, I've got to be thinner, or I've got to be richer, just what will add joy to my life. They need to be things that would actually serve you, rather than things that you feel obligated to commit to, I suppose.
I think it's also part of the neurodivergent brain that if you set a goal
Mm,
which has no defined outcome, so there's no, like, I want to be thinner. Well, okay.
yeah,
Where does that lead? Where
bit broad,
that's
isn't it?
woolly.
Yeah.
If you said, I think I'd like to drop one dress size, which is what,
Mm,
5, 6 pounds, 7 pounds,
mm.
that's quantifiable. Right, how would I achieve that? And you
Yeah,
work backwards
yeah.
from that. But I want to be
Mm,
thinner. Well, what and
yeah.
then what you
Too
find,
broad.
yeah, you have a grab bag of things that you're kind of doing, but no one thing. And
Yeah.
I find that if so when I, again, to use the analogy because it's the one that's, my one of my special interests, when I decided I was going to run a marathon, that was it. I
Mm,
knew what I had to do. And
yeah.
yes, was it horrible and grueling and something that uh, took everything that I had at the time? Yes, it was. But I
Mm.
started from nothing, couch to marathon, I did. And I'm not saying that's advisable. I'm not saying that's the
It
route to
worked
take.
though.
But I'm just saying I didn't read a running book or a running manual
Mm.
until I'd done a half marathon. Just, just didn't. I didn't know. You know,
You'd already done like 13 miles or whatever it is.
Stuart do by self. And I don't mean I ran a
Yeah.
half marathon and then was reading a book halfway around. That's not what I was doing. Um, but the
That
point
would
to
have
it
been
was
cool.
I did what worked. I did what was working, and I just kept doing
Yeah, yeah,
more of it.
yeah.
So I I think what a lot of, especially late diagnosed people, have got to come to
Mm.
terms with is their newfound uh, neurotype comes
Mm.
with some user manual kind of things.
Yeah.
And I think that by the time you're in your 50s, you're either so burnt out that something snaps and you have to go and find out about yourself, or you find out about yourself and you go, oh, everything's got to change, and accept
Yeah.
it and just deal with it. And to sort of round out this thing, the rest of the world views this as a disability. Okay. And one of
Yeah.
the things that I am really bad at is seeing my own limits. And in fact, over the years,
Mm.
I've ignored what other people think I can achieve because I've way overachieved things that other people, expect of me. But biting
Those
off
expectations.
way more than I think that
Mm.
I can chew, and then ending up ill, worse off mentally,
Yeah. Yeah.
financially, because I hadn't realised actually I don't have the energy budget for that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's not the thing that I should be doing right now.
Mm.
So I think that the care label that you should be looking at should come with work out what works for your energy budget before you
Yeah.
start committing to, I'm going to be thinner, I'm going to be faster, I'm going to be stronger, I'm going to be something that the
Gonna rule
world
the
has told
world.
me is
World
desirable.
domination. That is one of mine.
Yes, rule the world. Do you think there's a lot of shame that goes with the seesaw of the resolution? Because when you make it, you're
Mm.
grimly determined, and as that neurospicy balance tips and the consistency drops off or the interest wanes,
Yeah.
comes with a shame.
Yeah, I think there's a huge amount of shame. I was thinking about this earlier before we started doing this podcast or this particular episode, and the real enemy for me is the kind of a lot of the time is it's not a laziness that stops me from achieving these goals, but actually it's the fact that I just completely forget that I even set them. So there is a lot of shame. I mean, here I'll give you a quick example. It's not a particularly exciting one, but a few months back, I thought, I'd had some blood tests at the doctor, nothing serious. You need to take more vitamin D, all the obvious ones, if you don't go out in the sunshine every day. So I bought all of these supplements and I got a special little box Monday, Tuesday, you know how it goes. And I set them all out and I religiously took my supplements every day for about 2 months. And I definitely felt a bit better. But at some point along the way, my brain just went, no, you don't do supplements. Maybe one day I missed them and then it fell out of my brain.
Oh, no.
So it's not that I'm useless and like you said, the shame. It isn't, oh, Hannah can't stick at anything. She's rubbish. Actually, I can stick at loads of stuff and I have, my husband, for example, I stuck with him for 21 years. I can do consistency. I mean, he is awesome, so that helps. But, I can do consistency, but I also have a brain where sometimes I just forget that I was doing that. So for me, it might be that actually it's systems. Maybe it's systems, putting systems in place, not goals, not committed resolutions, but just kind of working out different ways, improved ways of doing things. And
I
maybe
think
those things are gifts to ourselves rather than promises that we put out there for the universe. I don't know.
I think you've nailed it. And I think that there was a phrase that I read the other day. I wrote it down. I didn't fail the plan. The plan wasn't designed for me. And that can
Yeah.
apply. That can
Mm.
apply when you've designed the plan, because sometimes you're making the plan on bad data. And
Yeah, yeah.
90% of the bad data is your internal process. Because you might be alexithymic, or you might have sensory
Mm.
processing issues, or you might have a million and one different things going off at the time that you go, I'm going to do, boom. I reckon there's many people who've jumped out of a plane, neurodivergent person, who's like, what the hell am I doing? They committed to it in the moment, didn't know how to say no.
But absolutely that. There is a version of Hannah that is way more enthusiastic and thinks she has a lot more physical capabilities than the real version. And, she's the one that's like, absolutely, by the time I'm this age, I'm going to learn to do a cartwheel or something. But then real Hannah doesn't have a body that can do that stuff. And now people will write in, won't they, and say, you can do it if you want to, Hannah. I physically can't right now. You probably all don't know that, but yeah, I'm not capable of a cartwheel right now. But my point is, there are parts of me after a few too many cans of Diet Coke where I'm full of caffeine that I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I commit to it. I sign up to something, or and then I chill out a bit, or a tireder version of me comes in and goes, no, why would you? Why did you think you could do that? So yeah, there's that as well. That slightly childlike enthusiasm that isn't always reality, and that does exist in me. The dopamine fueled kind of you know, I can achieve anything I want. Well, you can't, Hannah. That's not real,
That's
right?
that's a very kind of oorah, you know. I don't want to dog
You
on
believe in it.
Americans particularly, but there is a particular oorah that goes with that
Yeah,
kind of hustle culture mentality. And
yeah,
I've always been wary of that. Anyone who has to cheer that hard to get you
yeah.
engaged, it's like slow your roll. Let's let, let's take this at a
Back to
gentler
reality.
pace. Yeah, I I don't have the energy for oorah. Can you do the TLDR?
No, exactly. Like the other day, somebody said to me, and they won't be listening, thank goodness. Some random person said to me, like, if you want it, just ask the universe. Just put it out there. What? Like I'm gonna look up to the sky and be like, give me more mince pies. I don't know what
Oh, wouldn't
that
it be
isn't
amazing
actually.
if there was a knock at the door and your neighbour had just made some fresh mince pies? Hannah, I've just
Well,
made
they
these
fell
for
from the
you.
sky, and I got a giant bucket and just collected them all up. But but you know what I mean? I'm a massive believer in the power of positive thought. I am a massive believer that I've achieved some really quite magnificent things just by thinking, Hannah, if you don't try it, you won't know. I do try stuff, and some stuff I think, okay, that's not for me, and other stuff I'm like, I'm so proud of myself. But I don't believe in that kind of overly like you can do anything you want. Well, that isn't true. Like there isn't. I can't be a goat. There's not like I could dress up as a goat. There are many things I can't do. And a lot of, I'll tell you what, half the things I can't do, if they're boring, I don't want to do them. So that rules out half the stuff I think is a good idea. I start it. Oh, that sucks. That's rubbish. I'm not carrying that on. If it's fun, I'll do it like 14 hours straight without blinking. There's, we've
I,
not got the kind of brains that are that simple. I don't know if you're like this, but if
oh
I
yeah.
watch a series, like a series on Netflix or other platforms are available, I can, if I love it enough, I can get completely immersed in it, so much so that it feels like they are my friends. That is my life. They are my friends. And when the series ends, I am absolutely broken because I'm like, oh, I'm never going to see Dave again. And like, they're my mates, but they're just. I've just outed myself as being a lunatic, haven't I? You're like secretly phoning somebody. Time for the. Time to get the people with the special coats.
The big hook comes and wink. No, I know what you mean. I've had that with books. I've read
Mm,
books and you're so immersed in it and the
yeah,
people are so real that they are living things in your head. They are beings that exist and you have a relationship to. And when it
yeah,
comes
yeah.
to a brutal, often crescendo of an ending that you probably don't even want. You just want them to write this story kind of forever. It's kind of put it on a forever loop, you know?
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
but yeah, that obsessive nature can also be a very destructive thing, especially when you put the bar high and you say,
mm,
right, this is my resolution, this is my goal, and then you have an obsessive nature towards it. It can become, I know you
mm.
said about consistency, but the consistency of something gnawing away at your brain, like I
Yeah,
said, that game,
is exhausting.
especially when it's giving you that little, all the little sip of the old dopamine. Oh, the
Yeah.
ADHD brain getting a little,
A little
oh,
drop
suckle on
of
the
the
teat
special
of the
stuff.
dopamine. Very nice.
I want a dopamine teat.
like a hamster in a cage. Keep going back to it.
The
It's very
noisy water
Moorish. Yeah, water's very Moorish.
So,
Tastes
so
tastes like
maybe,
cocaine.
maybe what we're saying, maybe what we're saying here then,
Yep.
or maybe what I'm thinking here then, it could be very different. Maybe we're kind of flip the script. Maybe we're not setting goals. Maybe it's like the anti-setting goals thing. Maybe we're thinking of things. Do you know what? I'm thinking as I'm saying this, so it might come out like rubbish. It probably will. Maybe what I will do this new year will be about the things I'm not doing this year. I won't say yes to loads of things I don't want to do.
That's
I won't,
exactly it.
maybe
The
that's it. Maybe that's it. Flip
the
the script.
anti-resolution.
Yes.
Like we were
We could
saying
start a
last week,
revolution about our resolutions.
a resolution revolution. Nice.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I was just saying last week we were talking about the things that you get pulled into, the obligatory parties and meetups and let's have a drinks
Mm,
and that. Put a hard red rope against your time and
yeah.
say, this year, my energy is going to be my priority.
Mm,
That's the only resolution you really need to make. I will prioritize my energy.
yeah.
I say this to my kids and they laugh at me, but it's true. Rest is preparation for the work to come, not a reward for the hard work done. And
Yeah.
the change in your mind that I
Yeah.
am resting now, and it is important that I rest. This is part of the running thing that I learned as well. I was
Mm,
already thinking this way, but it tees in that your rest and recovery days are as important as your running days. You run too
yeah.
frequently,
Yeah.
especially as a beginner, you will get injured. So your rest and
Yeah.
recovery days are as important, and the quality of that, not just, oh, I spent all day on my feet. No, you took some time to actually quality rest,
Yeah.
which is a luxury. I get it. There's some privilege that comes with being able to switch off that people with busy lives don't have. But that's what I'm
Mm,
saying is if you put your priority first of energy, will what
yeah.
I do next help or hinder my energy? So does eating better help my energy? It
Mm,
helps my energy. Well, that's an easy commitment to keep because you know that you're doing it for the right reason. So I'm
yeah.
getting rid of the things that take away my energy so I can keep doing the things. And what you find, or I've found over the years, as I've culled off the things that I love theatre. I really do love theatre. I
Mm,
loved performing in all the shows I did. I love being involved in all the many diverse and different projects that I've been involved in. And let's not say that there won't be in the future, but right now I don't have any energy for theatre. It is
mm,
something which I cannot do at arm's length. I'm either fully immersed in it or no thank you. And
yeah.
I know
All or
that if
nothing. Yeah.
somebody comes to me and says to me, oh, please do a play, please do a play, please do a play. If I say yes, my entire domino
Mm,
stack will start to fall over.
yeah.
So I've learned over the years that unless I have literally nothing in my diary for 3 months, because that's the usual
Yeah.
rehearsal period, then I've got to say no, because I do not have an evening or a weekend where I can give it how I will need to
Yeah.
give it. So it's exactly what you were saying. Take things off.
Mm,
Your resolution is to take things away and stop doing things.
yeah. Things you'll stop, yeah. Managing that kind of realizing exactly like you just said, really, how precious your time and your energy and your rest are. And actually, rather than setting yourself more things to think about for 2026, maybe the goal or the kind of, the anti-goal is to think of the things that you will do, not force yourself to do, or the way that you will, like you said, ring fence your energy. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Things that I'm not doing next year, things I will do less of.
Also, minimum viable progress.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I'm not going to beat myself up and this is what I've been thinking about this podcast. So, to come
Hmm.
back to some statistics, I do like a
Love a
statistic.
statistic, yeah.
we said that most podcasts, I think it's 99% of podcasts never reach episode 21, and we are just focused in on that 21 right now.
We're over halfway there, Stu.
Oh, we are. We're massively over halfway. We are on the other side of the hump and cruising, no problems whatsoever.
We're like on the down slope. Yeah.
Unless there's a team of dedicated crack experts out there that at episode 20 they go around and kidnap you.
Just take us out. Oh, that was a bit dark. Sorry.
Yeah. Didn't make it to 21. No, no one does.
Just as we go live on camera for episode 20, we're like, hello and welcome.
That's it. Oh no. So and that's for me is minimum viable progress. If I reach 21 and for circumstances that neither of us can fathom or determine, things don't progress from there, I'll put that in a massive win. I got to one of the top 1% of podcasts on the planet. I'll take that. Yeah. I know it's not like world beating, but sounds impressive when you say it.
Yeah. And yeah, I love that. And
the other thing is, as I've always found, whenever you do a project like this, especially a creative project, especially a project which requires a bit of art, bit of craft, you get better at it the more you do of it. And I'm hoping that people will see this in the new year to tease the changes that are coming, because we
watch closely, people.
we understand, that progress must be made, and we've got some good plans for 2026. So our resolution is to keep bringing some quality content to your ears, into your car or office or wherever you are, and just bring some light relief to the darkness of modern life at the moment.
The darkness of your
darkness of your existence, a flickering candle of hope in the gloom of existence.
A little tiny piece of hope.
But you see, that's minimum viable progress. We're not going to shed a spotlight of certitude.
I think that's a word. We're not promising a TED talk. We're just keeping doing what we're doing really well and getting better and better. And all of you listening and watching, you can set your own self a goal of taking aside an hour every week to listen to our magnificent podcast.
Just put it in your diary.
There you go. That is all of your resolution right there.
That's it. Right. Just stare into my eyes. I will listen to the Business Oddcast every week.
Around the eyes.
Around the eyes. Exactly. Well, I don't know if we've learned much more about New Year's resolutions, but I do think that we've had some approaches that might open up some discussion internally for people. If you've got any questions, or you've got any thoughts, or you've got any pushback, or if you're like, no, you're wrong, I've got the exact way that you stick to a resolution, tell us, educate us, let us know. We're going off lived experience here. We haven't had everybody's experience. It's just two of us rambling on about our own approaches and thoughts. So, let's crowdsource this. Is there anything that we need to know about resolutions, energy management, time management, any of that stuff? Have you got anything else that you want to add to the whole
one last Hannah's final thoughts? Hurrah. My final thoughts. You don't need to be a new you. You just need to support the you that already exists. That's your new year.
Thank you very much for listening. That's amazing. I really like that. If you have been looking at us on YouTube, you'll see our splendid togs. I'll put a picture on the blog post that accompanies this so that you can see we really dressed up and made an effort. And
yes, we have. Look at us now.
We hope you dress up and make an effort to listen to us. It's a bit late now, but go and get dressed up and listen to us twice and add to our listening statistics.
Put something sparkly on and come back and press rewind. I like it.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Send it to a spicy friend, colleague, co-worker, someone you hate, or just anybody really. Just share the message of neurodiverse acceptance. I was
spread
I'm
the
sure.
word.
I'm sure this will crop up in future episodes. But Hannah and I did some neurodiverse workplace training to get a sense of what sort of stuff is out there. And whilst on the whole, it was very positive, and it was great to see this stuff out there. There were some thoughts that we had around it, and so we'll be sharing this in the upcoming year, and we'll be putting out some feelers. So if you know of anybody out there who'd like some DEI training in neurodiversity and an approach that we're advocating for, get them to get in touch. Send us an email, hosts@businessoddcast.com. We will happily talk to and listen to anybody who wants to educate themselves a little bit more. Maybe they're putting together a policy for their business. Maybe they're just interested in employing neurodiverse people and the talents that we quite obviously have. So get them to get in touch with us. It's been a very fab year for me. I will say this will be chalked up in the wins column, and I've had quite a few not win years. So win year, I'll take that. Any last final thoughts, Hannah?
Same here for me. Fabulous year. It's been a good one.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. Well, I'll race you to the finishing line, and I'll see you in 2026. And we hope to see you all there too.
This is me galloping to the
like a sparkly unicorn.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye. Step away from PAYE. Don't do it.